Thank you. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. It has been said that the gates of history turn on small hinges. And I would add that those hinges turn on American history and the seemingly small but courageous decisions that we make every day. Our history is filled with acts of bravery, defiance, hope, commitment to our founding principles. They have turned tragedy into triumph and opportunity into reality for our nation. The decision to stand up to tyranny or sit down on a bus will turn those hinges. Our heroic military, our first responders' decision to run towards danger turns hinges. Our choice for a teacher to take time after school to help a struggling student, or even putting your hands on your heart when our national anthem is being played because we respect our country and we respect those who paid the price, will turn hinges. These actions are small, but that is what turn our individual and collective American history. Now, why is it that we're talking about such small things at a convention? It's because I want to tell you that our nation is at a critical crossroads, and freedom will be won or lost on the basis of just a few critical, hinge-turning votes in Congress. As recently as 2012, the House of Representatives in the state of Utah only had 2 votes. Now, why is that? It's because Utah's 4th congressional district was held by a Democrat, and it canceled out one of our votes. Now, our congressional record shows that the most crucial legislation usually comes down to a handful of votes. So since 2014, when our country has needed Republicans the most, I have been able to be on your side, using all 4 of our votes. We led the charge for positive change. And after 30 years, Congress finally tackled tax reform and returned $2,300 to the average Utah family of 4. That's your money, by the way, it's not crumbs. Numerous Utah companies, large and small, have given an increase in pay and even given bonuses to hardworking families in Utah. And I'm honored to have elevated your voice in Washington in keeping promises and achieving profound results. These results including passing legislation like stopping taxpayer obligation to perpetrators of sexual harassment, Small Bank Relief Act, standing up for our military, standing up for our veterans, but most of all, without apology, standing up and standing strong for our children and life at all stages of development. We cannot allow our money to go to clinics that take advantage of our youth. Now, this race should be personal to every single one of us, because all of the progress that we have made, conservative policies, all of it will be undone if we hand the gavel over to Nancy Pelosi. Now, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats would love to divide our delegation, cancel out one of our votes, drive liberal policies, and we have to ask ourselves, do you want the 4th district represented by a candidate whose voting record shows that he supports unrestricted abortion? Do we want someone who said that they would have voted no on tax reform and the ability for you to keep some of your money so that he can go and spend it with Nancy Pelosi on other government programs? Someone who doesn't even live in our district making decisions for us and will continue to expand the failed policies of Obamacare. Or someone who has worked for Hillary Clinton all the way back in New York and even spearheaded her campaign here in the state of Utah for President of the United States. Now, some people don't like us talking about these things because they don't want to be honest with us or even their own party about where they stand on issues. But mark my words, we're going to keep asking and we're going to demand that they keep answering. Now, my husband and my daughter Abby are in the audience somewhere, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my daughter who came home from a trip, and she said to me, "Mom, I decided that I'm conservative." There they are. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny for 2 reasons, because Jason and I run our home like a dictatorship, and we thought she knew she didn't have a choice in the matter. But two, this is my middle child who at one point thought she was going to be a Kardashian. So we've made some progress. But I allowed her to go on, and I said, Abby, why do you think you're conservative? And she said, well, Mom, there's the obvious stuff. I'm pro-life because I think that if we're okay killing our babies, then we're pretty much good for nothing. She said, I support the Second Amendment, and I think freedom is actually good. And she said, but the most important thing is I realized in cities, especially the one that I came from, in cities where taxes are the highest and people are the poorest, all of those cities are run by Democrats. John Greenleaf Whittier wrote, of all the sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these, what might have been. I've come to recognize that historic moments are Utah moments. You are here on a perfectly good Saturday because you know that the cause of freedom rests on moments like this in our midterms, and they matter. We don't have time to contemplate what might have been because we know what the years of Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama has done to us. We don't have time to ask what might have been because we're too busy sacrificing our time, our efforts, our money, and our comfort in the cause for liberty. We don't have time to ask what might have been because we've asked when we were down 768 votes. We don't ask what might have been because we already asked that, and when we were down, we picked ourselves back up, we wiped the dirt off our hands and our knees, and worked together to win all 4 seats in the House. Instead, we ask what is and what is to come, and we know that success is planned and executed through hard work. In this midterm, every seat matters, every vote, every voter is going to make a difference, and if it is up to the 4th District to take on every prominent extreme liberal in the state of Utah, I assure you, you and I are up to the task. Together, we will turn the hinges of history, open up the gates of freedom and opportunity for every Utahn and every American. Thank you for not just being delegates, but being my friends in the great state of Utah. God bless you, and God bless our still independent United States of America. Thank you.